The ideal writing scaffold is a step-by-step strategy that guides students in crafting well-structured, compelling paragraphs. It starts with identify, where students state their main argument clearly. Next, they describe by providing characteristics and evidence that support their understanding. Explain follows, requiring students to show the importance of their argument using examples. Analysis and synthesis delve deeper, helping students reveal hidden meanings and synthesize relationships. Finally, link and evaluate ties everything together by drawing evidence-based conclusions and reconnecting the response to the original question. In this lesson, we will see Ms. Rashid using the ideal scaffold to formulate a sample paragraph response to the following question. How does the song "This land is mine, this land is me" reflect differing perspectives of land ownership?
Can I quickly revisit ideal? So just remember, the I in ideal always stands for identify. It says identify and define, but I think in English it's better if we just simplify it to identify your main argument. So whatever your main point is going to be in that paragraph or that essay, you need to make it very clear in the beginning of your introduction or your body paragraph, depending on whatever it is that you're writing. Today we're writing a paragraph, so it's our topic sentence. Describe the scene, or describe the book, or describe the character or the film. Explain your example, but you also explain your idea. This is the part where you don't talk about hidden meanings and things that are like secret. It's pretty obvious stuff that you're just explaining. It's just saying that, oh, he sings "The land is mine" to showcase his ownership and his possession of the land. The analyze part, that's the hidden meaning. That's the complicated part. That's the part where you talk about what this particular scene, what this particular example tells us about the world. So it tells us about underlying racial tensions between Aboriginals and whites in 1930s Australia. Link back to the question. And our question is, how does this scene show differing perspectives of land ownership? Which one do you think is the best example of different perspective to Jim Ryan's about land ownership? Fences. The dotted line?
He thinks that a piece of paper with a signature distinguishes if the land's yours.
Can you write this alongside with me? Even if you wrote your own example, maybe underneath it, write it in a different color so you can see how to improve the quality of your own writing, where you might have had gaps as well. What's the main idea we're going to look at based on this question?
Looking at
Excellent. Contrast, differing perspectives. You can use whichever synonym you like, okay? You've identified your main argument that both groups have different perspectives. And we need to give details. So who believes that you can own a piece of land through a contract? White Australians or Aboriginals? All right. And who believes that the land is not conquerable by man? So we need to make that clear here as well, okay? All right, now we've identified our main argument. We'll move on to the describe part. All right, so the song opens with Jim Ryan stating, "No blacks on my land." And when he does that, how does he make Albert feel? We need to describe. So how does Albert feel?
Upset.
Upset? Do you think he feels a bit insulted? Yeah, that he's actually an expert in this and he's being treated like he knows nothing? Okay, so we need to make that clear. You need to be as detailed as possible. And then we're going to give the quote, okay? All right, so guys, as you can see, the describe part of the song is not as short as you would think it would be. You actually need to give a context for what you're saying. And you give your quotes as well. That's why I like the use of the word describe, because it's forcing you to actually describe what's happening and then give the quote, which makes your paragraph more poignant. Right, we need to explain Albert's perspective of the land. So does anyone remember what Albert says about the land? So when Jim Ryan... So then analyze. This is the most complicated part, but it's also the shortest part of the paragraph. Because once you've described and you've explained and you've identified, you really just need to hit the nail on the head with the analysis. And this is just about you explaining why this is significant. What does that mean? Okay, why is that important? Why should anybody care about that? And then I want you to revisit the question, look at the keywords and tell me how I should incorporate them into the linking part. So what key phrase should I definitely mention in my linking part? Yeah, okay, differing perspectives of land ownership. Therefore, the song illuminates differing perspectives through who? Through which characters? Okay, and how would we describe them? As like very, very similar? All right, there we go. Look how detailed this is. If you've got an introduction and a conclusion, and then you've got 2 body paragraphs that look like this, you're set. You've addressed everything you've been asked to do. You've identified your main argument. You've given compelling evidence. You've explained that evidence. You've told us the significance of the ideas that you've looked at, and you've linked back to the question. And we're going to keep doing that so that you're ready for your trials. Okay? All right, yay, you're done.
The ideal writing scaffold offers a structured approach that benefits both students and teachers. For students, it provides clear steps to follow, helping them organise their thoughts, identify their main argument, and use evidence effectively. For teachers, the scaffold simplifies assessment and feedback, offering a consistent framework that makes it easier to evaluate student writing and identify areas for improvement.